The imperative for telcos to deliver the best quality of service and to be able to differentiate through new, captivating experiences is rising. Operators are on a long journey to compete, but also to usher in a new, more agile and digitalized era for the whole industry. So how important is innovation for telcos and their customers? And can operators collaborate when it makes sense to do so? To find out, I'm happy to be joined by Neil McRae, Chief Network Strategist at Juniper Networks. Great to see you, Neil. So firstly, how are telcos driving innovation and how can Juniper Networks help them?
Yeah, look, I think innovation's never been more important in our industry right now as we try to find more routes to revenue and profit. And as we've been as an industry and we've been investing in 5G and fiber, really ensuring that you've got the right network of the future is crucially important. Today we see 5G expansion everywhere. We see a huge amount of fiber build happening, and service providers want to know that they've got the right network that underpins those investments, so that the experience that their customers are getting is the experience that they should get in a platform like that. And at Juniper, we're continuing to invest big in this space. We're investing in the latest generation of silicon to enable 800 gig plus capabilities. We're enabling huge amounts of automation because we see service providers, of course, they're always interested in which box to buy, but increasingly we see service providers having a much more wider view about not just the box, but the actual overall solution. And really key to that is automation. And we've been investing big in and partnering with our service provider customers to build the right automation to enable them to run the network with the right experience. And we call this experience first networking at Juniper, with experience capabilities actually built into the network and built into our automation platform. So our platform not only ensures that they can get their network built quickly and provisioned sustainably and provisioned in a way that's right and secure, it also allows them to ensure that once they've built the network, it works in the way that it should, and that it's given their customers the experience that they expect. And I think it's never been more important to do that, given there's a huge amount of competition today in the network space, and by providing a reliable service, it's a huge differentiator. Agility is also super important, as you mentioned, and I think our tooling with Paragon enables operators to be super agile and actually trial things and get things up and running into the network very quickly. And we get a lot of positive feedback on that. We're then also moving towards network as a service as part of our Paragon suite, and we have one or two customers that are rolling that service out now based on our automation. And again, the feedback from their customers in terms of agility, in terms of being able to stand up a network very quickly and connect to the cloud very quickly, is hugely positive. And I remember in my telco days, always being challenged that, the longest pole in the tent of setting up a service was the telecommunications provider. With our automation, we are helping reduce that time lag and enabling customers to get services up and running and on demand and with the right experience.
And what is the role of the ecosystem and collaboration in driving innovations?
Yeah, look, the network is the thing that connects things together and people together. If you don't collaborate, you don't have a network. It's that simple. I've been working in building networks since the late 80s, and that's always been true, but even today, even more so true. So we work with a number of partners and a number of other ecosystem partners across the entire telco space. Most recently, we've been doing a lot of work in the Open RAN space. So as you might know, we've been working on a RIC controller and an SMO platform that really enables service providers who are deploying Open RAN to get the most out of it. So this is a platform, it's a software-defined networking platform that allows network operators to deploy applications. They can either be from Juniper or they can be from other vendors that we can bring into our RIC platform. And again, Open RAN, if there isn't a bigger collaboration or ecosystem right now in the telco space, I don't know what would be bigger than it. It's hugely massive at the moment. And again, from our customers, we're getting a huge amount of positive feedback on how well our RIC works across the ecosystem with many different vendors in the Open RAN space. And that's really important to them as they try to ensure that they have a secure supply chain, but also, most importantly, and I say this a lot, it's going to enable them to launch innovative new services that perhaps in the mobile network of the past was really difficult to do. And given where we are in this industry, I think launching more and more end user customer face services, both in consumer and business and government and into any customer organization, is crucially important so that we can grow the telco space and service provider space in the future.
Where do you see telcos innovating, and how is this innovation process being influenced?
Yeah, I mean, we see innovation kind of everywhere, both kind of in the back office with AI and AI ops, and our Paragon platform helps with that to take the complexity and the cost out of running a network. We see telcos innovating with Open RAN and building out a new platform, and again with our RIC controller being able to control the network in ways that we could only have imagined just even a few years ago, and then also in the kind of service space with network as a service, enabling developers to build network components with APIs and really allowing telcos to be kind of back in the forefront of the development cycle with cool things like being able to, and again, this sounds simple, but it's actually quite challenging to do, but being able to give more details to your bank so that they know any transaction that's going on is secure and you were the right person at the right time. Use cases like that. Sustainability, I mentioned this earlier on. Sustainability is crucial to every industry, to everyone around the world, and we see telcos doing really cool things in actually enabling the network to use capabilities on demand. We're partnering with a customer right now that's actually using the cost of the network paths and the sustainability of the network paths to decide which one to use, and then enable things like turning ports off on some of our routers to take cost out and to reduce energy usage that isn't really that valuable and from an experience or customer point of view. Again, those sound really simple, but again, ensuring that the network is there when you need it, and if there's a burst of traffic, ensuring that you don't drop anything, ensuring that the experience is what customers expect and is giving them a fantastic experience. It's crucially important that you've got the right capabilities and the right automation in the network to do that. And we see a huge amount of innovation there. I think I'll just mention AI again because it's something that's top of mind for a lot of industries right now. We see AI really helping in the back office a lot, and it's obvious that's the place where you would take AI and AI capabilities. But I think we probably don't see enough of AI service innovation. What can we use AI for to drive more innovation? And that's something that we're starting to partner with some of our customers on. One area that we're doing that in is in our enterprise platform, where we sell through telcos our Mist and our Marvis capability. That's really allowing enterprises to focus on what they do rather than focus on Wi-Fi and internal network issues. And our Mist enterprise platform is really changing the game on this. And again, Juniper Networks, AI has been a thing for the last year. We've been really engaged in investing in AI for over 3 or 4 years now, and that's really starting to pay off as we see customers in the enterprise space working with their service providers and having a network experience that's second to none.
That's good to know. And how is the industry going to evolve in the next 3 to 5 years, in your view?
Yeah, that's a really great question, a really important question. I mean, I think, in my mind, where service providers have to get to is there's 3 layers of service providers. The infrastructure layer. I truly believe that 99% of that layer should be automated and can be automated. And again, our Paragon platform can help with that and can drive it and talk to other ecosystem partners that can enable all our automation. But in this day and age, there should be no reason why the infrastructure layer isn't fully automated. And I've worked in service providers long enough to know that that's absolutely possible. And if I was writing a strategy for any telco, that would be number one on the list. What does that enable then? You've automated, the core part of your network. What it enables is the skills, the great networking skills that you've got to move up the value chain into services and into solutions. So selling more network-based services, with security, with network control, and kind of going beyond the smartphone. I use this term quite a lot, which is how do we take the network beyond the smartphone? How do we use sensor networks and how do we build them? And honestly, I think as an industry, we need to spend more time working on those sort of solutions so that a retailer or a business that has a factory or a transportation operation can come to service providers and buy, a retail solution that makes it easier for customers to buy things, a transportation solution that makes it easier for customers to get on a plane. Those are the sort of solutions that only the network and only a great experience of the network can make a difference. And I see, I really want to see service providers move into that space because I don't think anyone else can do it other than service providers. And then the kind of top layer of the kind of telco value chain, which is building on those generic solutions and kind of, building more customized solutions for certain vertical industries, such as emergency networks. Again, I think the network can do a lot more in this space in terms of being able to empower the blue light services across the world to make them more effective and more efficient. Doing more in things like quantum to ensure that future security of our data and future security of privacy of data is also crucially important. And I think we'll see a little bit of that. But then I think the other thing that we're starting to see the start of, which is the kind of AI data center. And I see service providers having a much bigger part in that than perhaps they think, in terms of ensuring that the value of AI is brought to the edge of the network so that customers can see the benefit of it, both our customers from a Juniper point of view, but also our service provider customers who are using AI tools day in, day out. We've got to make that experience really important, and I see that over the next 3 to 5 years. And then, as we move towards 6G, seeing, Open RAN be rolled out in big areas of the network, and actually kind of iron out the bugs and making Open RAN scale. I think there's a huge amount of innovation to come there, and I'm super excited about that because I think it will make a really big difference to that point of going beyond the smartphone and building much more than a network that's just aimed at smartphones, which is what we've kind of really been doing for the last 10 years. I don't remember such an exciting time to be in the telecoms industry, and at Juniper we're investing to support that in the latest silicon to drive higher bandwidth, but also in the tooling and the experience first platforms to ensure that as the world at large depends more upon the network, that we're giving them that experience that they can depend upon, no matter what they're doing, if it's playing video games or watching Netflix. Or they work in the blue light services and they're dependent upon the network for safety. We want to ensure that we're building a network that enables all that and enables service providers to have more solutions to sell to their customers.
You're making some very good points there. And finally, what makes the Great Telco Debate such a unique opportunity for attendees?
Yeah, look, I've been going to the Great Telco Debate, I think, since it started. I think I missed it 1 year because I was out of the country. But I think the Great Telco Debate's a real kind of equalizer in terms of sharing knowledge and sharing ideas. And certainly when I come away from it, I've always got a list of 10 or 20 things I want to learn more about. And it's great to be able to kind of, make your case for something. And actually, in some ways, make a case not because you believe in the case, but you know that actually we need some action here. I remember a few years ago there was a big, just before COVID and the last Great Telco Debate before COVID, there was a big thing about APIs that's really, generated a lot of movement in that space. So for me, it's great to be able to sit down and have some really kind of top end thinking with some of the industry leaders. I never miss it because I get so much out of it. I literally, my head's buzzing for a few months after it in terms of ideas and thoughts that I want to follow up on. And it's just fantastic from that point of view. It's also great to go back and be able to say you did something. And I don't know of a conference more where people come back and say, we debated this at the last Great Telco Debate, and actually we went away and did something. And I'm really looking forward to hear what people have done since last year.
Neil, it's been a pleasure speaking with you and getting your perspective on innovation in the telco realm. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me. It was great.